Okay, testing. It's been a while, everyone. The Panda Photographer is back on live stream. I'm just testing out something very important here. I had reset the entire camera, so this should focus better. See? Let's try this. Oh, a little slow there. That's the Tamron SP90mm micro lens, by the way. And this is the Irix 150 micro lens. As you notice, the headphones, the Sennheisers, were stolen. Unfortunately, I gotta use these iPhone headphones. So if you guys want to make a donation to get me some new headphones, or want to send me some great modern earphones, I really would appreciate that. Leave it in the comments down below, or private message me on Instagram, on IG. I really do appreciate it. But yeah, I want to talk about my editing process on how I made the Tamron versus Irix video, so you guys have a better understanding. Take this with a grain of salt. How I edit is based on how I go through the process. So what I do is, like, I set up editing first, the clips that I want. Then I go to the audio and add the audio. Then I add either animations to the content, or I just add text or translucent images or objects into the video. And then I would also, when I'm doing the audio, I'm also, mind you, that I also listen to the track that I want to use for the content. So, but it's a beautiful day today. Yeah. So it's Thursday. So you guys are probably wondering, why are you doing a live stream now? You haven't done one in a while. So what's the deal? And the deal is that I got nothing to do today, and I guess I can absolutely share my experience with you guys. So, and when it comes down to editing, oh, that's strange. It doesn't say that I'm actually live streaming right now, which is not accurate at all. I am live streaming. Uh-oh, we have internet problems, most likely. But yeah. So, oh boy, another of this YouTube nonsense. I'm live streaming, but it doesn't show that I'm on live stream. Look, I'm looking at my own account. It doesn't show that I'm on live streaming right now. Wow. Go YouTube. Suck. YouTube, you fucking suck. And you know it. Just be real about this right now. Come on. You're telling me that this is why people cannot find me when I'm live streaming, because you nerf or you filter my channel as if I've done something wrong to you. You the bullies. I'm just the victim here. Yeah, I can't. No matter what I do, it doesn't show up at all. It doesn't even tell myself, because I just sent a notification to myself before I went live to see this would happen, and none. Oh boy. Live streams. This is why I don't want to do these live streams anymore. This is the main reason why. If YouTube doesn't want to play fair game here, then I won't play fair game either when I talk a lot of smack about them. It's only right to address the problems within the community of YouTube. But when you start talking badly about YouTube, they want to put filters on your channel. That's bullying. And that is taking control over something they should not have control over. Freedom of speech is every human right. I see everyone else live, but I don't see myself live. This is redundant. All right. So this over here is the video that I posted up 2-3 days ago. So if you guys want to see that video, just go to my channel, look for it. It's there. I'm trying to look at your comments, but it's hard to. I see a comment and I can't read it because it won't show me. All right. Okay, so it got disconnected, then I connected again. I'm not. It could be Wi-Fi also here, but YouTube. Yeah, it's not giving me anything right now. Okay. First of all, my VPN is not on. I don't trust people in public libraries or public Wi-Fi at all, so a VPN must go on. Sorry. Trust people. That's how it is now. I got robbed like a week and a half ago. If you guys haven't heard about that, that's how the headphones and all the stuff got stolen. The microphones, battery charger. Oh boy, and now I'm using this iPhone 6. I want my iPhone 6s back. So much better. Okay, I see a comment there, but I can't see it on the device. Kind of strange, don't you think? It says I'm not okay, I'm live, but I can't see the comment. What is going on here? All right. Guys, as a travel photographer, I gotta go through these complications all the damn time. Now, I have tested this before I even went live and it was working. But what I can test is the chat and how YouTube functionality works for us users. Now, I see myself, but I don't see the comment that was left there. Or maybe, whatever. I don't care. Alright. I just need to read the comments. But that's what I have the chat comment up. Done. If you guys like the quality, let me know. Let me know. Yeah, I need to see chats. Anyway, so I'm the Panda Photographer, and sometimes my travel photographies are just a little bit, sometimes I'm grateful. Don't get me wrong. But sometimes they're a little bit of complicated situations. Financially, supportively. Sometimes it could be motivation. Sometimes it could be that I feel a little bit down because things don't go my way. And not to say that I don't want things to go my way all the time. I just feel like I accomplish a lot of things. And those things are that I'm trying to be a humble person, but I'm also trying to be really passionate on what I do. And sometimes the community shows love, but sometimes the community doesn't show love. But I gotta respect that, because it's not just the community, it's like I said, YouTube. They don't want to share this live stream with you guys. So, but if you guys want to know my video settings, I'm gonna tell you. I'm at 1/25 of a second at f1.8, ISO 800. I got 2 lights on and a main light up on. As you can see in my hand, you can see the light on my hand, by the way. So I got the controller just in case. I got face detection on, and basically I'm trying to establish I'm trying to do something new to this camera settings. And I have an ND polarizer, and you guys are probably saying, what the you're using an ND polarizer or ND nurture density filter? And I have it on 2 stops. I just want my skin to be a little bit smoother and I want less reflections on my skin. So you could use a polarizer as well, but that's just me. And I'm getting lag. Alright, and we're getting focusing problems here. Okay. Alright. Sorry, paused. Pause. See? It's lagging. I'm lagging. Kind of. Let's see. Boom! Put that in frame. Yeah. See how fast that focus? Now, that's the Sigma 18 and 35 on the A77. Crop! Look at that. Boom. That's not too bad. Boom. Wow, that was fast. Look at that bokeh. Look at the bokeh. Bokeh balls. Nah, people go crazy for bokeh. I understand it. It's fun. It separates things, but yeah. So other than that, if you guys want to support the channel, there's a PayPal link down in the description below. It really does help me out. But I also have Amazon links to most of the stuff that I use when I'm live streaming or out shooting. So I do have the camera actually on the tripod with the micro rail system because it balances. It gives me a nice balance. And sometimes the ball head kind of leans a little bit. I'm not sure if I bent something or slightly. It's like slightly like boom, but I need to fix it. But got my trusty Manfrotto tripod, which is great. And you guys like the setup. I do appreciate you guys tuning in. I know this is like last minute live stream, but we got 2 minutes before we start. I decided that maybe we should talk about. I haven't no news. I haven't looked at the photography news lately. I have not just want to talk about Sony gear at all. I don't want to talk about any gear at all other than the gear that I have here, because I want to emphasize a few things about micro photography. Micro photography is a very fun category. Now, some photographers might not even have an interest in micro photography, but if they would give it just a chance, you will have a lot of fun doing it. Your first capture is what motivates you to actually continue on doing it. Say if you've never done micro photography, you bought a micro lens or you rented a micro lens, and then you decided that you wanted to, let's say it, go out and shoot with it. And your first image, you notice that from your EVF, you're like, okay. But once you take the picture and you look at your picture, you're like, wow. A world within the world is unique. And the reason why I say that is because micro photography has its own world within the world, our world. And it's pretty damn amazing what you can capture, especially with this, which is on a micro four thirds, which gives me 300 at 4.5 equivalent. But technically, it's actually wide open at f2.8. And as you can saw from the video, actually let's do a pop in. I'll show you guys what I was working on. All right. So this is what I was working on today. And you can see, you can see how I actually, yes, I'm editing all my photos now in Photoshop. Why? I thought you was all Lightroom and Nik Collection. Well, I'm giving Photoshop a full opportunity, even though I'm not a big fan of Adobe right now and what they're doing to us users, and telling us that if we use 10 versions of a software that we paid for, and now it gives me a notification. Now it gives me notification saying that I'm online. Wow, YouTube, you really suck. But anyway, so basically, I'm using the camera raw feature to add my photos, and I can use my Lightroom presets along with that if I just needed to, but I don't really necessarily have to use it, but it's there. So this is what I've been using. This is what I've been creating. If I would show you guys, another image. Let's see here. Let's do this one too. I'm gonna open this up for you guys. It's a little sluggish. Alright, I might have to boost my fans really quickly here. Let me see here. Nah, I don't know how to, nope, don't need to. So, this is what I'm doing, and once I'm done editing the photos, what I do is, and as you can see, I am sharpening and putting noise reduction, even though I shot at ISO 50 with these images, so that bokeh is just bokalicious. Go to my Instagram, check out my latest photos if you like it. Irix, thank you for showing love. Tamron, especially you, thank you for showing love recently. I appreciate you sharing and giving me love. But anyway, you can see that you can right here, Tamron SP90 mil, and you can see the settings, f9 at 1/320th of a second, ISO 50, equivalent 90 mil. So, and you can see that all my presets are here. And camera raw 11.3. So all my cameras you can see right here. But once I'm done, right, I can go in here, let this export, and once I'm done, I can go into Nick collection because it's all attached to each other, and then I can add maybe some detail extractor, which it's not necessary in my opinion, but I would add like 3% like I did in my photo, and basically and add a little bit of white neutralizer to balance out some of the colors and fix some of the warmth in the colors, and that's what I did. So boot it up a little so you can see where I left off. It shows you what I left off, and you can see there's a subtle difference there. Not sure if this YouTube live stream is going to justify the quality, but you can see where there's a slight subtle difference when I uncheck it. Pay attention to that bokeh area and where I actually selected detail extractor. So, and this is pretty good, and I love this image. Now, like I was saying in my initial video, the Tamron versus Irix showdown, that I'm not able to actually use ND filters with the Tamron SP90. I have to take off the hood and use the filters, and I can't use the filters and the hood at the same time. And as you can see, here's why. You see how the lens is actually designed? It's not shaped outward, because this here, the front element, how the lens hood snaps on, it doesn't stick out like this one, which is the Irix. You see how it flush and flat, kind of almost? This one is not flush and flat, as you can see. It's like unit-shaped. So with the Irix, I can use polarizers and ND filters on top of each other, which gives me why I selected the Irix as one of my favorite lenses to use. But if I would have got a crop sensor Canon camera, because this is the EF, or Sony email body with an adapter like an MC11 adapter, I can neutralize the aperture blades that are in this particular lens. This lens is pretty chunky, pretty heavy, but I like how it feels too. So yeah, so with the Tamron, it's so light. They got some weight to it, don't get me wrong, but the focus though is much shorter. This focus though here, ooh, it's long. It's really long, so you gotta be fast and accurate. Now, take it with me, I have gotten really good at playing with the Irix lens and the focus throw, and the lock feature on the focus throw to lock your focus so it doesn't accidentally move the focus when you're trying to take a shot. Now, because this is really smooth, because you can accidentally just slightly adjust it just a slight bit and you will be slightly out of focus. So this lock feature does come in handy to lock. And see, it doesn't go anywhere at all, which is nice. So I do like that feature, and this is why I wrote it again for the Irixlens, because the Tamron doesn't have that. But this is where I wrote for the Tamron. The Tamron, by the way, sorry, the Tamron has two things that the Irixlens doesn't have: autofocus and manual focus, which is great for single point focusing when you're doing micro photography. Now, I do recommend shooting manually with a focus peaking. Nowadays, most mirrors cameras, even from Canon, Nikon, Pentax, then Sony, has focus peaking. But this one has a focus limiter, so you can adjust the focus limiter based on how you're shooting. This is where the focus limiter comes in handy. Now, don't forget that you have a focus limiter on the Tamron when you're shooting micro four thirds. So if you're really close to an object, and like really close, it should be on 0.3 meters to 0.5 meters. So you can neutralize and focus really precisely and really well with this Tamron lens. Now, the front element of this lens does have a very nice coating on it, but the Irix doesn't have a coating, and which I'm afraid to scratch the front element. This is why I recommend to buy a UV filter just to cover the front element. I definitely recommend it buying for all your lenses. So, or try to keep the lens hood on your lens, because this is why lens hoods are designed. They're designed to block out sun, but they also have another key feature about them: for bumps, so you don't scratch that front element. Imagine if I was having keys and I had my camera on the side mounted and my camera's going back and forth, and I had keys on the side there too, right? I know it's going to scratch my lens and stuff like that. Just pretend it's going to happen, hypothetically, and you didn't have a lens hood on. What do you think will break, and what would touch the lens? What will come off the lens? The lens hood. I mean, the lens cap. I'm sorry, the lens cap will come off easily, because what happened? Well, with the Tamron, it comes a little bit off easy. I have had complications with the Tamron, but this one, I literally got to push in the center on the Irixlens to come off, and it's pretty sturdy on it and pretty flat surface too, which is great, which I do like a lot. But with the Tamron, I do like how it snaps in, but the lens hood doesn't feel as good as the the Irix. Like, it feels better built, in my opinion. I do like this lens hood because it covers the whole entire lens, just like, and it's flat. But this one has like an indented shape, as you can see. And you can see where the Tamron, it's like flat hood shape, which is great because it sits on the table just like this. So that's great. So, but anyway, so let's go back to Photoshop really quickly. And my video is lagging. Let me make sure that everything is up to par here. Okay. Yep. Make sure I got my power settings correctly. Yes, I do. Okay. And see here. Alright. So if you guys are watching this after, I do appreciate that you guys hit the like button and share the content and let people know that the ThePandaPhotographer just went live. He hasn't gone live in like almost like 2 months. What is the deal? But I'm also trying out something with the ND filter. So I have my settings at ISO 800, f1.8, 1/125th of a second because I'm shooting in 1080p, 60 frames a second. And it's telling me that I have everything white balance, and I have my white balance kind of correctly. It should be giving me nice reds. It's nice smooth red and brown. Chocolate skin. Caramel. Anyone want some caramel? Ladies. But anyways. But let's exit out of here. Let me get out of here really quickly. No, because it's automatically going to save the data for me. Okay, no, and no. Alright. And you can see where I've been working on the thumbnail. This is the thumbnail. Just let you guys see the thumbnail. Easy done, peasy thumbnail. Got that done. So I make all my thumbnails, and if you can tell, there's a watermark in the back of my thumbnails, so no one else can use them. So it's gonna be really hard to try to get those letters, those big giant 616 Studio letters out. So, all right. So let's go back and recent project, which is Tamron versus Irix. Okay, and we're gonna load up and open up the project. Okay. Not responding. Let me close some apps here. So, all right. Let's make sure that my audio settings are correct in my hardware. All right, everything's good to go. So, what is this transition I'm using? Well, if we go to effects, I downloaded some transitions a long time ago. They are called glitches. So I go from 1 glitch, 2, 3, 4, 5 glitch. This is actually glitch 4. And what I apply, if you look here in the control settings, you can see there's a blur, a noise, a vignette, a wave, and an offset, and a wave warp effect with the color balance and the brightness and contrast. So that's all included. That's number 2. I'm sorry, I said number 4. And how I actually, if we open these up, you can see where, if I can spread this a little bit better. My point in and out when it's done. So when it actually plays, it plays like this. So this footage here was shot with the iPhone 6 and 1080p 120 frames a second. I use ProMovie to absolutely do that. ProMovie is one of those apps on my iPhone or my Apple account that I use to do all my filming, because it's a great tool for the iPhone. I can use Film Converter I want, but I don't want to pay like $20. I pay only like $3 for this program, and gives me the flexibility to absolutely, let me tell you, it gives me the true absolutely to utilize the sensor on the iPhone. But not only that, it gives me the flexibility to also control the shutter speed, ISO, white balance, and I can use a white balance or gray card on top of that, and it would detect the gray card and say, oh, we're going to fix your color balance. So I recommend putting the gray card right in front of you so it can detect skin, colors around you and outside of you, so you can have great colors. And then I edit everything with this clip. By the way, I know I'm going through these scenes very quickly, so I use color correction here, and you can see where I'm using the Phantom Rec 709 Gamma. I kind of like that default lux. It gives me some flexibility, but I don't use it all the time. But when I'm using with the iPhone, I use it quite a bit. So, and I use it also on the Yi M1 4K mirrorless camera, which you guys have seen that video with me doing some videography work with the Irix 150 micro lens. And here, if I was to turn this off, turn it off for a second. Look how dull that looks. There's no shadows. Actually, sorry, I forgot to put you guys back on the same page. So let me give me a moment. So let's go back. Look how great that looks. Now you can see my dress shirt. You can see the color. You can see the designs in the shirt. You can see the shadows a little bit more flexible now. You can see how my shoe colors are standing out better. Now, if I was to just turn off this effect, you can't really see my shirt color that much. It's a little bit too dark. I was probably underexposed there a little bit, and it shouldn't happen. I like to balance out a little bit things, or I try to do underexposed in certain shots, especially when there's a lot of light, especially when the sun is out. But as you can see, it doesn't look very vibrant to me at all. So and that looks much better. Now you can see what's going on. Now you can see my shirt. Now you can see what bag I'm holding in the back of my back. Now you can see because I opened those shadows a little bit better. So, and you can see where the highlights are really, really down because it was just an overcast, cloudy day, and the highlights were just killing me. And I personally don't have an ND filter for the iPhone. I can buy an ND filter, but that would require me to buy another third-party lens for the iPhone, which that was also stolen. But it's all processes do at some point. It always will be returned back to me at some point. But you can see same thing with this clip here. If you look at it, and the song, by the way, is from Jeremy Blake, Heaven and Earth Part 2. I have Part 1. I just used Part 2. And you can see where I just used color bases, and this is pretty much some B-roll that I already had from back long ago. So therefore, I'm just using B-roll from previous recordings when I had different cameras. So, and just added a little After Effects. So how I assemble my editing was I put all the clips together first, cut the clips, right? Then I said, okay, I know what kind of effects I'm going to use, so I just don't add the effects yet. I just put all the clips together first, all the way down till I'm done. Then I start putting effects to these clips until I'm done to the very end, which is a 17 minute long video. Then I will fix the audio, which is my audio. I will fix my voice, make my voice a little vibrant. So let me go into the audio settings, and most people, let's just jump ship to, the audio here. So here are the audio settings, and basically, if I can get this through. All right. I got a subtle male boost, but I have a dehisser. Dehisser is when you say a lot or tease, kind of breaks that down for you a little bit. I do have clarity check, but not the dynamic range because if it's too much, especially for this clip, so I have to turn that down. I did do some repairs, as you can see. As you can see, I reduced some noise, then I reduced some humble. I did everything in Adobe, and then because how did I hook that up? Audio Audition is hooked up to Premiere now, so, and I have it at 60 hertz, but it should be at 50 hertz because everything was recorded at 48 kilohertz, so that should have been 50 hertz. But, and you can see I got the dehisser at like 2.5, so just to give you guys a little bit of a reference here, so you guys get an understanding what is happening with the audio. And the subtle EQ with a subtle boost in my male voice. Oh yeah. But anyway, and you can also see here, where is it? And I enhanced my speech with male. There's a reason why I did all that. But you can see where, if we play this back, that served and that have passed, protecting the country that you love. Now, you notice on my audio, if you look at audio 3, just look at audio 3 and look at why it won't go. It's trying to stay at negative 12 dB. But look at the sky cover. Wow. Pretty amazing today. So, today, I'm going to be playing around with the Irixlens. So, you see how it's like slightly hitting the little yellow area? That yellow area? That's what I want. I don't want my audio to be in the high yellow area getting to the red zone. I want it to be very subtle and very minimalist. So it sounds really good. It comes out good. It comes out great. So that's what I was aiming for. Micro, and I'm going to be playing around with my Sony A77 with my Tamron SP 90mm micro. And we're out here by the lake. Now, this shot, all these shots, if I go back to editing, all these shots were on my Zion Smooth Q gimbal with my iPhone. So, if you guys are wondering how is this a smooth handheld? It wasn't handheld. It was on a gimbal using the Smooth Q, and the Smooth Q gave me some flexibility to, and I wanted to create something better than what I was doing before, even though I have done better content than this. It's just that I'm in a situation where I don't have the luxury to sit down and be patient and take the time out to edit videos as I used to, because I'm in this location at one point, and sometimes I'm in this location. I'm moving around. I'm traveling. I got a whole bunch of luggage with me. I got my camera gear, which is my luggage. I would say 60%. Actually, I would say 65% of my luggage is camera accessories and gear. Okay, and that other 35% is clothing. So I even got cables in the box that the lens. These lenses came in. The camera came in, which is the M1. So I'm just trying to do the best that I can here. Trying to capture something pretty amazing. It is a beautiful day. So let me also show you what I did. It's one of these cuts I wanted to show you guys. No. See, I'm jump skipping. I need to go back to editing. And also the text was done in Adobe Premiere as well. Because the fonts that I download also download to my Microsoft Windows, which also detects in my Premiere Pro as well. So, in Photoshop, in Lightroom, in whatever software that you're using. So I definitely recommend, trying to download some cool fonts if you want to use fonts for your videos. So, in your thumbnails, don't forget about the thumbnails. But see, like this social media template After Effects was done in After Effects a while back ago. So everything else is with either presets of like transitions. Most transitions I downloaded, they were free transitions, and some of them a little bit complicated to work with, but it has to be the right kind of footage to work with these certain transitions. So definitely recommend using some transitions or downloading some transitions if you choose to. Now there's a simple transition which is called Apply Video Transition. That's kind of cheesy, but you can make adjustments. But if you go click Set Transition Time, and with the scroll on your mouse, the mouse ball, or you could go up or down, which you can see the numbers change. So in my scoreboard here, I can open up my footage a little bit longer, or I can shorten it a little bit longer. And this is what I kind of do when I come in doing the editing process. So I am assembling all my footage first. Then I come back to the very beginning of my footage. And then when I'm done with my footage, I come back and I'm starting to add effects to the footage, and then I render them. I render them in and out, and then I can render the whole completely video. Once I'm done editing the video and done editing everything in the video, I rendered the entire video. Sometimes it can take another 2 hours or an hour. It depends on the render time, and it depends on the system. And then I export it out. But how I export it out is this is what I recommend doing if you export it out. Now, before I talk about exporting out, I want to talk about downscaling from 4K to 1080p. If you shoot 4K 60 frames a second and you downscale it to 1080p 60 frames a second, trust me, it looks really good. Regardless, but still, most of the audience is watching 1080p 60 frames a second anyway. Some people can watch in 2K, some people watch in 4K. But even if you don't render a downsample to 4K footage, what happens is that you notice certain things in your 4K footage, like noise could be a problem, or it could be shadow problems, or black, so it seems a little bit too crushed, or you notice some things. But when I compress it down or downscale it to 1080p, it looks cleaner, it looks much better, and I kind of like downscaling some of my 4K 30 frames per second footage to 1080p 30 frames a second, because it's much easier for your internet provider to provide you adequate internet service and speeds when it comes down to watching 1080p content. When it comes down to 4K content, I noticed that there are a lot of people that are complaining about, well, I try to watch 4K on my television on at home, and sometimes it just buffers sometimes, or it just don't buffer the 4K. It stays at 1080p 60 frames a second, or 1440p, and that is one of those reasons why maybe some of you guys are having like, why isn't it automatic go to 4K when I'm watching YouTube content? But yeah, so on top of that, when I actually downscale to 1080p 30 frames or 60 frames a second, YouTube has a better recognition system when it detects that, oh yeah, this is 1080p. We can load this up really quickly. Boom, shoots, goes, scores. Now you're watching beautiful, clean content without even going into the hassle, pausing the video, stopping the video, putting on the settings, then go back to the beginning and press play again. When you can just like leave it on and play and just go sit back and watch. I think that's much better. So this is how I'm going to show you how I export the files out. Let's go in here really quickly. Oh, sorry, gotta put you guys back on the page. Keep forgetting to do that. So give it a moment. So we are in the export settings. So what I'm going to show you is this is how I actually do this. So make sure that your timeline sequence, this key, this little arrow button that's rendering, it's at the very beginning. Okay, you want that to be at the very beginning. And you can see here what I put selected YouTube 1080p Full HD. If you want 1080p Full HD 4K Ultra HD 2160p, that's another option. Now watch how the estimate size changes from 2 gigabytes to almost 5 gigabytes worth, because now it's going to have to compress and export things out. And what I like to do is go in here. I named it Jeremy as a song in the beginning because Jeremy Blake was the song that I choose to use. Come on, focus now. I choose to use in the beginning of the video and mostly half of the video because it's 17 minutes long, but as you can see, and you can see the target. Look at the output. The output says that, oh yeah, I'm at 3840 times 2140 at 30 frames a second. Now, I can export this out, but this is where I recommend choosing the YouTube settings to have better feedback from your audience on YouTube. And when people just put, let's see here. This is what happens when you put match source high rate. Don't do that. Because sometimes, and I have done this before, and I learned a valuable lesson in videography. When I use that setting, I noticed there's some glitches and there's some problems with the footage. So it's especially if you're going to be uploading to a YouTube platform like YouTube. Yeah, so they have settings like for Twitter, Facebook, uh, RV, Vimeo. This is where I would definitely select the YouTube 1080p to downsample it so it looks much better. And I have gotten positive thumbs up on that video. I really do appreciate it. So, but this is what I recommend. I definitely recommend doing something like this. And then once you're done setting this out, and make sure that everything is matching, close to matching the source that you want. The field order, the aspect ratio, and everything. Yeah. Once you're done, you're good to go. You can hit export. When you hit export, you're done. So this is sort of like a breakdown really quickly of my editing process. I know I didn't get in depth with my video process, but you can look at my timeline. As you can see, look at this timeline. It's cluttered with a lot of stuff here. Just cluttered with a lot of stuff here. And so video clips first, which are in the blue. Purple are my effects. The pinks are some stuff from After Effects, all my images, by the way. Okay, so and there's video clips here on top of video clips, so you can see how the process goes all the way up to like video 7. Like it's fantastic to actually come up with this and do it on this particular laptop. And I had this laptop for a year now, and it's doing really well. I think I'm want to use another type of thermal paste on my CPU and GPU. I kind of want to use liquid metal, but I'm not scared of liquid metal. I choose to opt out on liquid metal before and go back to my PK3 because it was much safer, and liquid metal tends to jizz out from the sides. So, but you can see how my audio is broken down into pieces. If I show you that my audio is also broken down into pieces here. You can see the volume goes up and down, but I also adjust the audio volume. I can pause the video, bring it down, and I can go into the audio side of things and the master and bring it down to where I just feel fit. That served and that have passed protecting the country that you love. But look at the sky cover. Wow. See, that was the animation. If we go into graphics, sorry for the slow boot up time, guys. We go into graphics. Come on. Now you can see where, if we go to Ed, I select that. Birmingham Park. The text that I use is called Eaton Kinetic. And you can see where I put the stroke at 10%, but my shadows are like this golden, yellow, orange theme. And my fill, it's not a white. It's actually like this bluish aqua color, like an aqua, like blue, like a sky, like a clear, like the sky that you see in the footage. Like beautiful. I kind of wanted to match that, but I didn't want to match it too much, so I wanted a little bit lighter and I wanted to stand out a little bit. So that's actually fixed up to like 2%. And I also make adjustments to my appearance on my text to look clean. So I fixed the appearance and the levels and everything else. And it's actually at this regular size 60. So if I was to like disable all this, it should go back to stock. Yeah, so if we just put orange or golden orange, give it a moment to boot. Oh man, my computer is lagging bad today. And there's the black. Now, and then the fill, boom, fill it in. So if we were just to take the black stroke out, give it a moment to actually, wow, my computer is really lagging today. You can see how like it doesn't look very appealing to me. It doesn't look very like it stands out. It doesn't. So that's how I have completed that. So just to let you guys know about the text and how I done the text and the features, and I have it slanted just a bit, as you can see. It's actually on a frotted slant. If that's if you want to call it. It's like kind of slanted like this, not straight. So if I was to disable that, you can see how it like, give it a moment, it might go upright. Yep, you see, it goes up. It goes upright, back up. But if I slant it a little bit, it looks much better. It looks like really appealing to me. So I think that worked out really well. But this is all the footage that I completed, all the audio. All the audio clips are edited individually, and it's not matching each other. It is sort ofly. But I noticed in some of my audio, my hiss was more pronounced than my other clips or my B-roll. The hiss was a little bit too strong in some clips, so I had to make adjustments. So, but yeah, unfortunately, I am using Adobe Premiere Pro CC, and it works really well. But the problem that I had with this was, and I'm going to show you right now, here's the reason why I couldn't export it out in the first place in 4K with using my GPU. So I go to Project Manager, or I'm sorry, Project Settings, and go to General. I have to use the Mercury Playback Engine software only. I can't use the GPU for some reason. I don't know. There's a bug going on around with the Premiere Pro right now, and every time I try to export it out, it's telling me that this error code, which is common. It's not common. I apologize. It's just based that Adobe knows this is an issue and they need to address it. And I like to use the CPU and GPU to export my videos in a much faster time. And it's telling me it won't render it because of some type of issue with my effects or my transitions and my clips. And that's not true. So I have to use the Mercury Playback Engine, which is my CPU, and press OK and then export out. So if you run into that issue when using transitions, this is another option that you could use if you want to just not be bothered and try to figure out what's going on with your GPU. You want to kill time, you're on a deadline. The CPU would do just fine as long as you have a dual core, a quad core, or a 6-core, or 8-core, and now AMD has a 16-core CPU. Oh my god, that's crazy. But that's just insane. But like I was saying, everyone, it's been an honor trying to showcase you guys my work and my workflow. It takes time, so this video has taken me like 3 days to get it done total. I started on Sunday and didn't post it until Tuesday, so you can imagine what I would have to go through in that process. So yeah, and I did all the video and all the recordings on Sunday, and then started editing on Sunday afternoon, well, on Sunday evening into Monday, all the way to Tuesday late morning. I was polishing everything up. Then I tried to export it in 4K. Then I realized I ran into that issue, that problem with this GPU. But these are fantastic lenses, by the way. Woo. Fantastic. Like, I'm so amazed what this lens could do. You can see the CPU aperture connects in the back. If I had a Canon camera, I'm pretty sure that I would be able to actually neutralize the aperture blades, and I would guarantee you my f2.8 shots that you have seen on my Instagram and on the video, you will be stunned to see that at f8. Ooh, I can't wait to see that at f8, actually. That would be really nice. But But as you can see, shooting these at f2.8 gave me an idea on how these differ from each other in a lot of ways. But comparatively, there are really good, outstanding micro lenses. Either one would go great. Some of you may want to choose the easy route out and go with the autofocus system. And not only that, you may want to utilize the focus limiter settings on this Tamron micro lens. Now, you hear that? I don't like how that shakes. Check this out. Yeah, it moves kind of a bit. I like my hood to be a little bit stiff, but this one locks really tight too. So you gotta literally like put some force into unlocking it. But yeah, but other than that, these are great lenses. I always use the tripod collar mount when I'm using this on any camera. I definitely recommend using the tripod collar mount because it can be a little bit front heavy for smaller mirrorless cameras. So you may want to keep an eye out on that. But yeah. So and yeah, YouTube. So it is now 11:43 on April 30th, and I've been live streaming for about close to an hour, and I'm going to tell you guys right now that YouTube has not notified anyone that I'm actually live right now. So this is proof that YouTube is not a very stable platform and not very lucrative. As a photographer that owns a small business, it hurts my business. This is why I'm struggling right now, because I used to make content, get the word out. People used to come to the channel. People used to hire me to do photo shoots and stuff. But now it seems like everyone wants to contact me, but they want free work. And I don't do free work. I recommend don't doing any free work, because if you do free work, you putting yourself in the hot water, in the hot seat too, because then that person is going to be abusing you the next time. Say, hey, can you do this also? And if you want exposure, use social media. Tag your images correctly. Use social media carefully and right. Go to groups. Share your thoughts. Have your own opinions. Be active. Don't be afraid to show your images, even though you may say, well, his images look better than mine. I don't want to post it. Post that image anyway, because it's not about how great it looks. It's the effort that you do behind it that counts the most. So the more you keep doing it, the better you become at it. So I do recommend that. But as a Panda photographer, guys, if you guys want to support the channel, it really does help me out to grow and keep the lights on here, because no one wants issues.